Well, here we are again. We're on part 5. We're going across the Eyre Peninsula from Port Augusta to Ceduna. And yep, it's raining. So it started raining last night, and it never stopped the whole of the way to Ceduna. Quite heavy most of the time, and blowing a gale. Anyway, so basically the track today takes us right across the Eyre Peninsula from Port Augusta to Ceduna. Apparently it's a very large grain growing area, so lots of wheat, barley, grain growing across the whole of the peninsula. And later on we'll be looking at plenty of silos, grain storage, as we go along the track. So one for the boys here, farm machinery. Have a look at the size of that thing. It looks like it's a planter or cedar, and unfolded it'd have to be 25-30 feet wide. It's huge. Now this stretch of road was absolutely gorgeous with the water on it. That lovely green hedging of native trees down both sides. The red dirt, and look to your left, you'll see big long rows of tarped stockpiles of grain. They're even loading it out in the rain. I'm not sure how that will work, but all along this trip there's lots of that going on. There's open stockpiling of grains and silos, and there's another set of silos. They're all along this. As I said, it's a huge grain growing region, and they have a rail that runs along these silos, and so the trucks would truck the grain to the silos, and it gets loaded onto rail cars down for shipping down Port Lincoln, which is down the bottom of the peninsula. I guess it goes, a shipping port down there. More of that lovely picturesque road with the red sheens and the greens, and scanning over to the empty wheat fields. Of course the harvest is finished now, so they're all empty, and I guess won't be long before they're ploughed up and planted. And there was the road to Port Lincoln. I guess where all that grain gets shipped out. I suppose most of it goes overseas. There's another set of silos right beside the railway track, because it's on the same peninsula, but it's got to be about 500, maybe even more, 800 k's from the top end of the peninsula down to the bottom. It's quite large. There's more of that lovely road. It looks good with wet and the green. Looks very nice. And some more silos. They all seem to be very similar in size and make. Seem to be the same company, Viterra or Viterra. I noticed there's a lot of their trucks on the road too, so some big mob down here in South Australia. Grain certainly is big business down here on the peninsula. Well, here we are in Ceduna, and it's still raining. So I need to find somewhere to pull off, because I need to check my little app to see where the cheaper fuel prices are in town. So to find somewhere to pull off, which is just up here I might. And I'm looking around, there's about 3 or 4 servos in town flogging juice, but the cheapest one was a self-serve servo where you've got to go and prepay before you can pump. And I know it's only a few cents, but when it's easy to do, you may as well save a few cents. It was still around 260 cents a litre, or $2.60. And then I had to go down to the Shell servo because the self-serve petrol station didn't have AdBlue, and my little gizmo on the dash was telling me I need to top up my AdBlue. For those who don't know what that is, it's Euro 6, part of the pollution thing where they inject a chemical into the exhaust stream so it burns hotter and burns off the particulate. So I'm told. So that's it there. I walked into the shop saying to the old mate there, the pump 5's not working here, what's going on? And he said to me, he said, look mate, he said, it's a self-serve thing, it's on the wall there just to the right in front of that white four-wheel drive, and you got to prepay. I said, oh geez mate, you haven't heard that before, have you? Sense of humour there. Well, that's it folks, for part 5 of this trip. I'll get busy in the morning and hopefully get the Ceduna to Bordertown part 6 done while I've still got some internet access. Bye bye.